Good evening, everyone. I am Carla Nelson, and I am so grateful that you all are joining us on this Giving Tuesday. We have got an incredible evening planned for you. I'm just going to give you the agenda real quick. First of all, we're going to be talking with TV expert Michelle Washington. And then we will be talking with Sadia Seymour, and then we'll go into our conversation. And then we're going to announce who the next fashion stylist is. So with that said, without further ado, I am going to go ahead and bring in Michelle Washington. Michelle, thank you for joining. Let me tell everybody about you. So and this is just a snippet, okay? Y'all, look, if I would run through all the accolades for everybody I have tonight, which I'm so thankful for, we would be here all night. But I just want to give you some quick highlights about this incredible young lady. She is the host of a 2-time award-winning fashion podcast, The Color of Fashion. I've already mentioned she is a TV expert, styling for magazines, TV personalities, and celebrities. Her work has been internationally published. She has appeared on Fox, CBS, NBC, The Huffington Post, just to name a few. That's not all. And she's the creator of her own luxury shoe brand, Michelle Washington. I should have asked you for pictures of those shoes. Are they on your website?
Yes.
I want to tell y'all, Michelle she's also joined our Fashion Stylist Network as well. So if you go to our page on blackfashionworld.org to the scholarship section under programs, I'll try to put that in the chat a little later. You will be able to see her shoes. You can click on the link right there. You'll be able to see her shoes. But I want to talk to Michelle for that reason, a lot of reasons. But I want to thank you so much because you came to me and you spearheaded an event that was a fundraiser that is a major part of the reason, well, yeah, why we are here tonight. So you brought together, let me put up the slide to thank some of the donors. You brought together these organizations, Shop LC, Northside Domain, the Reset. Why was this important to you?
Back, Colorway, when I say back in the day, you know what I'm saying. Back in the day, this wasn't available to me. I wanted to be a fashion stylist. Now, it's always when I start in some sector of the industry, they don't have a label for what it was. And with a lot of our favorite fashion magazines, and we still adore glossy paper and all the things.
Right.
When I started, there was no name such as a fashion stylist. That function was taken over by the fashion editor. So there was no name, and there was no way to learn how to get into the position that had no name
Okay.
until much later. And we had to, many of us, we had to learn the hard way. There were, I'd say, 399 doors slammed in my face, and I waited for that 400. Number
Mm,
400 was the yes. And when you get in, it's about what you do when you get in.
yeah.
And the tools were not available. No, I didn't have access to the right books, the right mentors. There were no mentors raising their hand. And
Yeah.
for a scholarship such as this to work with the Black Fashion World Foundation, this was a tremendous match. As soon as you and I started talking, I was like, this is the one. This is the match. This is everything is destiny right here, blessings coming
Thank
together.
you.
And someone can have that experience and the mentors and the learning that I didn't have when I started such a long time ago, years ago, we won't say.
Well, I mean, again, let me put this back up because I want to make sure. But these organizations, Shop LC, Northside, Shop LC is a shopping network for jewelry, and then we've got the Northside, and we've got the Reset, and for you bringing these organizations together, y'all are definitely a part of the solution. You've demonstrated it, and that's why this is possible tonight. So considering that, and as she said that, let me share one thing with you. I want to share, this is a slide that you can see that talks about one of the reasons we're here. It's the scholarship. This is something that the Brookings organization put together. And you can see, you can look at this. This talks about the disparities as far as African Americans. When you look at the top left, well, my left, it shows you that total student loans owed is increased. It's always been more for people of color. I mean, but if you look in the blue, it's showing you from 1992 to 93. And now, well, this wasn't done in 2007, 2008, but look how that's increased. And then when you go down, you can look at the loan payments, you can look at the defaults, it's even more for African Americans as well, again. But then when you look at the who owes more borrowed, again, it shows more for African Americans. So that is one of the reasons we're here. We want to encourage you. This is Giving Tuesday. We are going to be making, as you see tonight, giving away a scholarship. And for anybody who has a heart and you want to share and take part and be a part of the solution, as Michelle was, as Shop LC, as Northside Domain, and all of the other donors that we have, please, you can text to BFWF to 44-321, and we will really appreciate your generosity. Now, with that said, Michelle, let's talk because you're a part of the network. So this person, and I know her schedule is really busy, so thank you again for joining us. But this person that is selected tonight, what can they expect to learn, to glean, to glean from you?
the hard knocks of what the real putting boots to the ground is, and all the things that I couldn't reach out and ask and bounce ideas off of, and a lot of the things that we say to maintain the history of the industry that we may not find is always taught. These are the gems that I want to reinstill.
Thank you. Michelle, thank you again for joining us tonight, and have a wonderful night, and we will talk soon.
Well, as I always say, a smile is always in style. Keep it
Love it.
fashionable.
Love it. See you later. So next we are going to have Sadia Seymour. Let me bring Sadia on to the platform. Sadia, bless your heart. Let me tell everybody, for anybody who might not know about this young lady. Oh my gosh, we met some time ago, but she has always just been so monumental and so supportive of me. So thank you for that. But for anybody that is this is your first time meeting Sadia, she is the lead instructor for FIT's Fashion Styling Certificate Program, which is where we are sending the person that is selected, announced tonight. She received her Associate of Applied Science and her Bachelor of Fine Arts from the Fashion Institute of Technology. After 7 years in production, she transitioned into fashion styling. With 20 plus years under her belt, she works in commercial print, television advertising, editorial, catalog, e-commerce, runway, bridal, press previews, and is a mannequin expert. Currently, she's the CEO of Behind the Rack, a boutique fashion service company. Sadia, thank you for joining us. Oh
Thank
my
you for
gosh.
having me.
Tell us a little bit about Behind the Rack.
Behind the Rack is the culmination of all my years of styling and being asked to dress for fashion shows. And I was like, oh, okay, I could pull a team together. And then it just shouldn't have been, oh, Sadia pulls a team together. The name came to me on the train and I formulated it into a company. So it just is an extension of what I already do. But I employ freelancers for Fashion Week and for other large events during the course of the year, from as small as 15 to as many as 45. And we've had some really great um, projects that we've worked on. Just recently, we did the Hermes store opening. We've done the Savage Time Sochi show in 2019. And we do New York Fashion Week proper. So we have a lot of fun doing what we do, even if it's just for a week. But in between, then we have other photo shoots and projects that we do.
Got it. And I'm trying to make sure my phone is on silent. I apologize. Waiting on one person that I pray is okay. Okay, so let's jump in and talk about the certificate program at FIT.
Yeah.
As it's structured, or I believe you've worked on restructuring it. So as the program is structured now, what was your objective for the structure that is formed now? Can't talk. And what does it entail?
Well, initially it started as a 3 class program, and it was started before me. I came into the program in 2002, so I've been teaching this program for 22 years,
Oh
21
wow.
years, coming
Okay.
to 23. And I just wanted it to be more reflective of what we really experience, kind of like what Michelle said. There's no real training. So the only book that I found when I wanted to start was Crystal Wright's Hair, Makeup, and Styling Career Guide, but it was mostly geared towards hair and makeup. And then when I kind of found this class by accident, I came in as a guest speaker. And then the woman who was running it just threw the curriculum at me and said, pick a class, teach it. And I'm like, oh. But like the way Michelle said, um, I didn't know, I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to, because I had to give away all the stuff that I worked so hard to
Mm,
learn. And then a friend of mine said, you're not giving it away, you're just sharing it. And all they can do is go down their own path. And if it wasn't for her, she actually got me my first job. And if it wasn't for her, I would not be teaching and still be here, because I had to see it from that perspective to let go of, I can't take it with me. I
yeah.
could just give it away. And the program has evolved from 3 classes to 13 classes to now it's reduced down to 8, but it's made, you can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Someone in the audience said they couldn't
Well,
hear me.
yeah, what's taking place?
It's
Sadia,
okay.
can I share with them what you shared with me earlier?
Oh no, I just turned my volume up. It's fine.
Okay,
I turned it all
okay,
the way up, so it
okay,
should be okay.
okay.
Um, we've made it so that you, before it would take you 2 years to complete. Now we've done it where you can take 4 classes and it's 8 classes broken into two
She'll be
sections.
back on in just a second. Okay, there you go. There she is. Hey, look, this is technology. This is the world we live in. But go ahead, as she was saying.
So it's 8 classes and it's separated into two, the advanced and the basic. So the basic you're able to take that in 8 weeks. The uh, the advanced you're able to take in another 8 weeks. So you should be able to get through both um, certificates in one semester
Okay,
if you take them at the same time. So it's more realistic, it's more geared towards really just hitting all the things that you need to know to make you a great assistant. And that's what we emphasize with the certificate program. It makes you a great assistant. You still
okay,
need to go assist in order to learn all the rest that you need to know before it's time for you to be the lead stylist. So that's how the program is scheduled.
okay. All right. And so when we were recently talking, we were talking about um, that you're now offering or you've partnered with Yellow Brick to offer a version of this class. The person that wins this award tonight will actually have the opportunity to attend the class with you, the actual class on campus. Tell us about the benefits of taking the class at FIT campus versus the Yellow Brick offering.
Well, the Yellow Brick is an asynchronous program. It's just videos, and it was in collaboration with Yellow Brick and Women's Wear Daily, just to kind of give, I think it's like 20 or so videos or 5 modules with a bunch of little videos in it. You don't get to talk to anyone, you don't get to ask any questions, you just kind of listen to these little snippets, a minute and a half, 3 minutes, then you don't get the hands-on experience that you get when you're in class at FIT. You get me for first class when you see me. You see me on the end when you take the advanced certificate. I help you with your resume. So we do a lot of hands-on in-class photo shoots, pinning classes, menswear, hand sewing. So all those things you learn in a very short period of time. Again, the basics. And we prepare you to go assist so that you can learn the rest of it and really excel and become more, ready to be able to style.
Okay. And so when the future stylist walks away from this program at FIT, what you've I believe you've really already addressed that, but what level you've talked about the fact assistant and the skills where you've already said where they should place themselves in the industry, but really, what confidence level do you feel they should have when they walk away? Say it's me, someone coming Johnny off the street knows nothing about styling. What kind of confidence level would I walk away with?
I would think you would feel like a rooster. Shoulders back, head up, because you've had some knowledge given to you. There's nothing like going into an industry. It's like any other industry. Once you get the foundation, you feel more prepared to go out and try. If you just start from right now and say, I just want to go assist, you're just kind of bumping all around the place. You've had some hands on experience pinning, some hands on experience doing photo shoots. You have a little bit of hand on experience, just like you would in any other college,
Mm-hmm.
and now you can go say, hey, I'm a qualified person to be an assistant for you. Please take me on and teach me some more.
Got it. Okay. Well, this is amazing. Thank you for sharing the snapshot with us. I just want to tell everybody we're actually getting ready to segue into the conversation and bring some of the other stylists in to join Sadia and I and talk about that. Telling you a little bit about the Stylist Scholarship. We created this scholarship and we created it with mentors such as the stylists that are coming on tonight so they can have that real world knowledge and kind of bridge the gap there. So the stylists that I'm going to introduce you tonight are individuals, as well as Michelle, who you spoke with earlier, or who spoke to you earlier, who are actually going to be in a private network. They're going to mentor the person that is selected tonight. This person will have access to them via a private network. They'll have access to them for some one-on-one counseling, and who knows what else, but I can't say. It just depends on how this person does in the class. So with that said, I am going to start the introductions and bringing our stylist on stage. I do want to tell y'all tonight, Melissa Chatang, fortunately, the life of a stylist, since we're talking about it, she is not going to be able to join us because she is shooting with NBC. So, but I will tell you a little bit about her. I also want to invite you to visit the webpage, the scholarships webpage, and you can click the link there. You can find out more about her. But Melissa Chatang, she is a TV host and lifestylist. She's a regular contributor and host for the Today Show, Access Hollywood, and E! She's been featured in LA Times, Good Morning America, Essence, and more. Melissa just returned from styling retreat in Paris, which I wish I would have been with her, with some of her clients slash followers. And she has launched, I was hoping she'd be here to talk about her Chatang dress. She actually has a Chatang dress named after her last name that she has recently launched. So I hope you all will check that out. With that said, Carlton, I'm not sure if you can hear me. I'm gonna come right back to you because I'm seeing that there's a technical difficulty there. So I'm gonna give you a second. So I'm going to bring Franklin Murder. I see y'all don't understand. I can see him backstage and I am cracking up right now. So I have to bring him on. Franklin.
Hi, good evening.
Oh goodness, there's Carlton. I'm coming right back. Well, as you can see with this suave smile, Franklin Murdo has been a model with iconic brands like Sean John and Ralph Lauren, landed placements with Prada, Gucci, and Theory. He has an extensive experience in film, theater, television, and the modeling industry, currently working with top brands like Adidas, Nike, Pepsi, Malibu Rum, and serves as a casting director and stylist for Fort Lauderdale Fashion Week. And I'm glad everybody joined, but we didn't think, it's amazing, we didn't think he was going to be able to make, because he was with Dapper Dan earlier today. So how did that go with Dapper Dan today? I saw some clips.
That went extremely well. First of all, good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Good.
The event earlier with Dapper Dan, it went extremely well. It was overwhelming. A lot of people showed up. He was elated that I was there, and I'm wearing the same pair of glasses that he wore for this interview. He gave me these for my birthday, and I told him to wear them for the interview. So it's supposed to like.
So that means you're right here in New York with us today, and not in Florida.
I am actually in Florida. My flight, I had just landed. I landed at 6 o'clock and I hurry up and get here and made it here. Because I have an event that I had to do at 10 o'clock that I had to host for Art Basel. So I had to be here.
See, this is the life of a stylist.
Indeed.
Amazing. So Carlton, I see Carlton. I am going to bring Carlton up. Hi, Carlton. So let me tell everybody about Carlton Jones. Carlton Jones is known for beginning the transition of the image of Queen Latifah from hard rapper into the stunning songstress slash actress that we see today. He has dressed body types ranging from Halle Berry, Lenny Kravitz, I won't talk about that, and Michelle Obama. He has been featured in Vogue, GQ, Rolling Stone, Vibe, Essence, and more. And you can see some pieces of his Carlton Jones resort-inspired collection in the Best Man final chapter showing on Peacock starting December 22nd. I had to throw that in there because he said Terrence Howard is wearing some of those pieces. Is that right?
Yes, I did some things for Terrence.
See, I love bamboo. Y'all, somebody, I think Dale was on there. She knows I'm in love with bamboo because it is just so
good.
So
good.
And this is the thing, when everybody, I got to get this in the chat, but definitely you can go to the website, the scholarship page under programs, and there's a link directly to Carlton's website. You can go to Carlton's website and really see a full view, I believe, of his resort inspired collection. But tell us a little bit about that collection.
That collection, I grew up on the beach. There's no place I'd rather be than on the beach, but I live in Manhattan. It's an island of a different sort. So basically, that collection is inspired by the desire to be in these resort destinations, the travel lifestyle of a lot of my clients, but trying to make pieces that can work from the Hamptons to 14th Street. Like it's got to be able to. I live in a metropolitan city and I want to feel like I'm on a beach. So my whole tagline and aesthetic is resort isn't a destination, it's a feeling. And that's what I'm really hoping to do with the clothes that I'm making.
Amazing, amazing. So let me bring in Lewis Johnson. Oh my God, Lewis Johnson. You know what, Lou, can I get you to turn your camera, if possible, landscape? But if not, we're gonna go with what we got.
Well,
Oh, turn it back. That's okay. That's all right. As long as I can see your face, that's the main thing. Lewis Johnson Jr., the accessory king, is a lifestyle entrepreneur. I'm hearing feedback, not sure why. Partner and trend specialist in his family-owned and operated boutique, Harlem Haberdashery. Harlem Haberdashery is the retail expression of 5001 flavors located in the heart of Harlem, New York. A custom-made apparel company creating looks for celebrities, recording artists, and sports stars such as Puff Daddy, Jay-Z, LeBron James, and many more for 30 years now. And I got to tell y'all, one of the things I love about Lewis is his slogan about TMZ. Tell us that slogan.
Always be TMZ ready.
Oh goodness, well, Lewis, tell everybody just a little bit about Harlem Haberdashery.
Well, you said it. I mean, Harlem Haberdashery is the retail expression to our custom brand, 5001 Flavors. We've been doing 5001 for now 30 years, doing every single person. It's probably less people I have not done than people that we've done. Like we've done everybody's short orders to big orders. We've done every celebs, their families, their children, and so on. Being at Harlem Haberdashery, it's my love. Like I have no more joy than just coming here every day and just creating it and sharing with folks different looks and different ideas that they've never thought of. So I enjoy it. I have a great day here, 6 days a week.
Amazing, amazing. So what I'm going to do for the sake of time is jump right into the conversation. What I'm going to ask everybody to do is when you're not speaking, put your microphone on mute. I'm hearing a little bit of feedback. So when you're not speaking, put your microphone on mute, and I need to do it too. So we're going to jump into the conversation. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the power, perseverance, and purpose of being a stylist. So we can launch the next fashion stylist into the fashion stratosphere and give them an idea of what to expect from you. And I think Franklin just gave us a little bit of that. Franklin and Melissa, because she's still on set. So I'm gonna start with Sadia, then I'll go to Franklin. I'm going in my order as I see it. Then I will go to Lewis and Carlton and ask this question. Each of you operate in a different sector in the styling industry. Tell us about the sector you provide services to and the uniqueness of that sector in regard to the skills requirement and the approach that one should take to styling clients in that segment. Sadi, I'll start with you.
Well, I'm different than all of these gentlemen because I don't do celebrities at all. I am the stylist that nobody knows about. I do e-com. I do catalog. I do back of house. I'm the stylist of no name, and I don't want to be in the light, and I don't want to be in the front. I work and I create and I put my clients, my brands in the front. Doing commercials, no one knows who styles those commercials. No one knows who's dressing the models in the runway. No one knows who's working that event. Nobody knows. And I'm okay with that. The joy that I have with these life size Barbies and Kens, with all these clothes, People giving me money to go shopping. It's amazing. And I've dibbled and I've dabbled in the celebrity side, and it was just not for me. It was the other side of it. The commercial side of styling was more my speed. And I think people need to understand that there is also other things that you can do if you can't cross over into the celebrity world, because these gentlemen are fabulous. And it takes a certain personality, and it takes a certain grind, and it takes a certain determination, to be on that side as well. And Carlton designs and he styles. So we probably have the same background for being having a fashion design degree. So I just think that you need to explore, and that's why I push so much that our program is to get you to assist, because you got to go through all the little doors to find out which one works best for you.
That's good. That's good. And Melissa, unfortunately, she couldn't be here, but she's both sides. So that's good to hear. Franklin, and if anybody needs me to restate, I'll restate the question too. Each of you operate in a different sector. Share with us the uniqueness of the sector that you operate in regards to the skills requirement and the approach to styling clients.
Well, the uniqueness of it, you got to know what you're doing from the beginning. I hear a lot of people say they styling, but who are you really styling? If you have your own personal styling, excuse me, which you can style yourself, but you're not able to style such as Sadia or Lou or Carlton, to me, that's not you're not really a stylist. You got to be able to diversify by meaning that you got to be able to do men and women. And when you say celebrity, I done so many celebrities, but I never really claimed them. But what am I really saying? I have a lifetime achievement awards for being international model slash fashion stylist. So I've been doing this for quite some time. What make me unique? If when I dress you, you'll realize that you're at a different state. You're in that suavologist category. You're in the coffee bean category. So I think that's pretty much says it all.
All right, Lewis.
Hmm. Well, I mean, I've dabbled in both. I mean, I've dabbled with celebrities for as much as the life of styling, and now dealing with the clients that come into the boutique. I actually just go for what I know. I'm just about putting flyness together. I really don't listen to your music. I don't really do any of that. I just actually sit back and talk to you and then create from that. I'm a different bird. I go off on my own, and then I create the ideas and the styles that give them that. Oh, never thought about that, because everything that we're doing, especially coming out of 5001, is definitely different things that they've never seen. So I kind of do a little different, but still in the creative looks.
Carlton. I got you on mute. Let's see.
I muted myself.
Thank you.
No, I was gonna say I also do a hybrid of different types of styling as well. I can appreciate what Sadia said, and interestingly enough, because a lot of kids come out of school wanting to be a celebrity stylist, and it doesn't happen just like that. You noted my big break came with Queen Latifah, but honestly, I work with also so many celebrities. I won't even go there. My best day, my like one of the most rewarding moments ever styling any individual was a single mother who just got out of a divorce and was looking for a job and needed an outfit that she can wear to an interview and on a date. Like she was on that kind of budget, like, and super tight. And for the first time, I put her in a dress that she wouldn't have seen herself in. And that was more rewarding to me than any celebrity I've ever styled. I'm not even exaggerating. The way it opened up a whole new spectrum for her and what that did for her on her budget. So I take a lot of value in that. And I think that it's important that people recognize that that's a very valuable part of styling. And e-com and all of that, where the money is consistent, is quite fantastic as well. Celebrities definitely offer a lovely cachet into being a stylist, and can put you to the forefront and make stylists sometimes as big as their clients. But I guess to answer your question, the uniqueness that I guess my specialty has now become, now that I'm also designing, is the ability to not have to look all over the world to find what I'm looking for, to go and have it made. Like, I can see what I want my client to be in, create it myself. And for many years, I was actually going to 5001 Flavors before I was a designer myself, because I could take those guys a sketch and can have that outfit in 2 days. So
Mm.
now I have those people on my team. I have, shapes and silhouettes in my collection that I gravitate toward, but I also have the ability to see beyond that and see what the client needs. And whether it's coming from me, other designers, or whomever, then I think I've opened up that vastness to be able to include the ability to make it or go and find it like everyone else.
You know what, Carlton? You see, you're gonna make me go left off of this question because you said so many things right there that I just want to run with. Oh
Mm.
Lord, help me, Stacey. Oh,
Pull it
oh,
in, pull it in, pull it in.
I look, but let's go there because you talked about it. Let's dig in. You see, you didn't start out as a celebrity, so I want each one of you start out working with celebrities. Excuse me. So talk about your road a little bit. Hit some. For the sake of time, hit some highlights, and then I can put this in with the next question. Hit some highlights of your road. Tell us 5-minute briefing. Well, maybe not, but a briefing of your story, how you started, and the power and the responsibility that goes with being that stylist.
Okay, so I'll continue and then we can work our way back
That's all
around.
right. Go ahead.
Idea. For me, my last job was working retail. I was working at Barney's, New York, the old Barney's, the original Barney's. And that's where I first met stylists coming in and thought, like, oh, wait, somebody's paying them to shop. Like, and they're asking me for my advice. So why don't, I do that? Long story short, I was actually fired very unjustly and devastated to no end. And but had that door not closed, the window would not have opened to start styling. I happened to have a friend who worked with a celebrity photographer. So my story is unique because I did the testing like all of us have to do. I didn't assist as much as I really wanted to, because that's really how you learn. But I kind of got in from the beginning, and my luck with Queen Latifah happened extremely early in my career. And within 2 years of styling, I just happened to find myself in the position to work with her. And because I was the first stylist to put her in a dress as well, it got a lot of attention when hip hop was taking over the world. And from there, I went straight into a Hot 97 campaign that did everybody from Lil Kim and Foxy Brown to Puffy and LL Cool J. And then that just fell into a time where talk shows and makeovers were a big thing. I can say a word or two and speak somewhat clearly. So I found myself in front of the camera as much as behind the camera. And that sort of propelled me in that celebrity stylist realm. But at the same time, I was also doing, those jobs that no one would ever know who did that book cover or commercial or whatever that might be to pay the bills. And but fortunate for me, had I not been collecting unemployment from Barney's, I would never have had the ability to start doing what I'm doing now. So I summed it up.
You did good, and you hit on something. You hit on something that, Lewis, I'm coming to you next. You hit on. I don't remember exactly how you said it, but you talked about the necessity, my words, of being able to speak and present yourself in public. I have to go there. Hit on that a little bit and the importance of that in being a stylist.
I mean, I think when now everybody's like, I'm my own brand, and everybody's on about branding, and there's so much about that. But you really, I mean, your presentation, whether you speak or not, is your best advertisement for what you're doing. So, that for me, I kind of base my brand as far as my clothing around comfort. And I think that I have the ability to make people comfortable, which is very key as a stylist. But speaking on it, that was something that honestly, it took some time and practice. Like it didn't necessarily come easy. You know, I would find myself short of breath and, you know, having moments when I was in front of like making presentations early on. And then I tackled it head on. I was one day asked to do a review at a fashion show that I was attending. That website liked my review and asked me would I continue reporting on other shows. And it was interesting to watch from the beginning. I remember having to do like 5 and 6 takes to do an intro. And now I feel like I can roll through it, you know, like it's second nature. So it is something that has happened over time.
Thank you for sharing that. Lewis. Look, I could, okay, I got to remember the time. Lewis.
Yes.
I remember hearing you talk about, if I remember correctly, it's been some time when we first met. You were talking about lugging bags down Manhattan Avenue.
Down Madison Avenue. Yes.
Yeah, tell us your story. How you got started.
I started out long ago. I started off actually working with Hype Hair magazine and Try It Yourself and all those hair care magazines. We were doing the photo shoots for the models for the hair care. It was me and a friend named Derek and Sam. And then from that, I got pulled into LaFace Records. So I did Usher my way. So I stayed with Usher, did that tour, left Usher, had just come back from tour, was sitting in a restaurant, and I got approached by Groovy Lou and Sybil Penix and talked to me about doing the tribute to Biggie on Puffy's album. And from then it went from Puffy to Will Smith to Boyz II Men to Kim Cattrall. I grew up actually watching that young man Carlton in the audience at Ricky Lake. He was doing styling, he was doing makeovers, and he did not know I was watching him. Wow. I ended up doing that and ended up going to Montel and doing his makeover shows because I wanted to be like Carlton Jones and the Wendell Haskins and like these brothers were doing things, the Patrick Kelly. So that's who I grew up in. And from then it just went on. I had a short heart attack in the early mid 90s where I called myself I was going to retire. I was age 40 and I said, I'm just going to retire. And I went in hiding for about a year, just chilling out at home. And I lost my mother in that time and so on and so forth. And then I got this phone call from Nordstrom's to run the stylist department. From then, it just kept going. And then I could not retire. The family opened up this boutique and now this is where I am. So I'm here in this happy, love, homely abode.
All right. Franklin.
Yes.
Wow.
Tell us how. I'm gonna look. Yeah, I'm scrapping the question. Some of them I have to bring it back. But Franklin, how did you get started? What was some of the things? How did you get started? Yeah.
How do I go after Carlton and Lou after hearing all of that? That was in the 80s. It's not fair at all.
I'm gonna mute some of y'all real quick. Go ahead.
I said, how do I even begin after hearing Carlton spoke and Lou spoke? So it's hard for me to go after them, considering the fact that I was born in the 80s.
But that's all right.
No, I got started. My mother, one of the first Black women that worked for Gucci in New York. So Gucci had a store opening in Worth Avenue here in West Palm Beach, Florida. So we used to live in White Plains. My mother was like, I'm going to Florida. At that time, there was in 1990, and I think I was like 5 going on 6. My brother was like 3. My mother just picked up and left. So while she was working for Gucci, she used to get like what they call wholesales, like 80% off. So she would get a lot of Gucci stuff. She opened her own boutique. So when she opened her own boutique, most of the time she would have to work. And then she was like, son, I need you to stay here. I would stay behind the counter for her. So a lot of people would come in, they would try on stuff. And they like, I'm looking at that. I'm like, that doesn't go together. So I would help them out. So literally I got started at. Then George Hamilton at the time was living in London, I was living in West London at the time in Kensington. He used to have fashion show, but he didn't have a stylist, but I was one of his models is what I'm like, I could be your stylist and your model at the same token. And then I became his stylist in London. Then I think I did like over 20 shows with him. Then I started styling from there. Then Neiman Marcus and wanted to hire me. They flew me to Dallas. But Neiman Marcus was like playing me because at the time, the money that they offered me, my my assistant was getting more money than I was getting more money. And I was like, interesting. But they wanted me to train my assistant. I didn't understand, like, okay, that person is my assistant. He's getting more money than me, but you want me to train that person, but you wouldn't give me an extended contract. And I knew what it was as a African American man. I was like, no, I wasn't gonna do it. So I stopped doing it. And then, long story short, I started doing Mr. and Mrs. Jackson, the movie. And then we won the best. We got awarded the best awards, the best styling gig on screens. That's my story right there.
Amazing. Sadia, how did you get started? And then yeah, go ahead, and then I'll come with the other question. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I did 7 years of production in knitwear. That was my love for when I got out of FIT. And then one of my yarn vendors told me I should be a stylist and didn't know what it was. And the friend who told me I should teach was Naomi Campbell's assistant. And I called her and I said, someone told me I should be a stylist. And she said, you should be, you're good at it. A week later, she hooked me up with a celebrity stylist friend. I was the second assistant at the 98 Essence Awards. Got the bug. It was exactly what I like to do. And it took me some time to get started because, of course, we didn't have the World Wide Web. We didn't have the internet. I'm dating myself. And it was hard to find that door to go in. But when I finally got in, I assisted a French stylist who really wanted to teach. And that's the thing. You got to get that one person who wants to teach. And I did everything he did. We started out doing catalogs and advertising, and I assisted for 2 years. And then after 2 years, someone's always watching you work. And one of the art directors from one of the catalog companies offered me the lead styling for an upcoming catalog, and that's how I catapulted into being a lead stylist. Got into e-com. My most favorite thing to do is advertising, e-com, and my runway stuff and my events, these big events, fashion events and experiences. I'm falling into in the past 2 years, and I really, really enjoy it. There's always something else. January starts my 25th year styling, and I couldn't see myself doing. Thank you. I couldn't see myself doing anything else. Sometimes I am the only person of color in the room, not even a model. And because of my name, they don't know that I'm a person of color. So when I walk in and I'm like, good morning, I'm Sadia, I'm the stylist. You're Sadia? You're the stylist? And I've had to deal with that, and I still deal with that. I walk in, my company is predominantly Black.
Yeah.
I walk in 45 deep, Black men, women, queer, whatever, we running backstage at New York Fashion Week. And it brings me so much joy to see that. When I just did Hermes at the end of September, they were all very surprised that these 45 Black people, and a handful of everybody else, we ran that thing. We did it. And that's the kind of stuff that makes me proud. Like literally the day it happened after being there for 4 days, I broke down in tears and had to go in the dressing room. I was like, I did that. We did that. So there's always something, there's always a new experience, there's always something that's different. You should always feel proud of yourself every now and again. But I just started doing regular advertising, editorial, catalogs. Now we don't even have catalogs anymore. It's e-com. But I love it, and I don't think there's anything else I could ever do.
Amazing. So I am going to ask two more questions, and then we are going to, I love this. I wish I could go on so much longer. So I have to figure out a way to do something special so we can really dive in, because I got a lot of questions just listening to each of you that I really want to dig into. So I don't know. I might have to do one-on-one specials. I'm going to figure this out. So 2 questions. I'm gonna do one. Um, Perseverance. And Sadia, you mentioned something already. What are some of the things that you've had to persevere through as a stylist?
Just being a person of color. Let's just start with that. And,
Thank
you
you.
know, being a person of color, being a woman, I don't think being a woman is as hard as being a person of color, but I don't find it being hard. I just find it, I love a challenge. I mean, that's what styling is a challenge anyway. Can
Mm.
you bring your client's vision to life? I love a challenge. So let me show you that I know what I'm doing and I know I've succeeded when they book me again or they bring me in closer to the project earlier because they value my opinion and what I do. And I'm like, mm-hmm, you're welcome. That's how I feel.
All right, Franklin, what are some of the things you've had to persevere through?
So Dion, I'm laughing because you said a person of color. That's what happened to me at Neiman Marcus. So it was funny. And my most perseverance one would have to be when I was on the set of Sex in the City, which is and just like that is spinoff. The stylist there was asking me questions when I showed up. Of course, I had my little role. I don't know if you guys see me. I had on what is that, the blonde hair. If you watch the first episode, Sex in the City. Long story short, they was asking me a question. I showed up, it's like, "Oh, you the stylist?" I'm like, "No, I am playing Franklin Myrtle myself in that TV show." And they was like, "We thought you was the stylist." Funny things about it, stylist came up to me asking me, "How do you think I should dress that person?" I'm like, "Well, you the stylist, you got paid for that. I got paid to be an actor. Why you asking me question? Am I getting part of your paycheck?" I thought it was hilarious. But just being like the youngest one in the room, one of the I keep bringing up Neiman Marcus because I had a bad experience there. When I first walked in, the guy never knew that I was a straight guy. I'm like, "What's wrong with that?" He was like, "Oh yeah, we hired you because we didn't know you were straight." I thought that was odd. And I had to overcome that obstacle, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm very straight, very very straight."
Wow.
So, and I was still modeling, still, believe it or not. So I had a lot of challenges it comes to, but styling to me, it's very easy. That's just the way to put it. That's just me. I looked at it very easy. And to say what Carlton had said earlier, I became a designer. Most of the people's like, "Yeah, this is my own brand. This is literally my own brand." I became a designer because as a stylist, some of the pieces that I'm looking for, I can't find them the way I have them in my head. And I was like, why didn't I become a designer? Boom, all of a sudden I could design what I really need, but still remain as a stylist. Like this little piece right here, all custom made by Franklin Murder.
All right. Love it.
Look at the inside. I know
Woo!
Carl appreciate all of that. So this is all me. The
Woo.
Swabologist brand.
Carlton, share with us some things that you've had to persevere through as a stylist.
Um, I think for me it would I mean it's a popular undergoing underline here is it's actually being a person of color. I know that it's I was thinking about it as you asked the question, and it actually propelled me. But I would often be going up to fashion showrooms, and often the doormen were like, "You're here for a pickup." They would assume I was a messenger, and so I remember one day I was like, "Well, I mean, why would you assume I was a messenger?" He was like, "Oh, I mean, because of your bag." I'm like, "This is a pony hair bag. What messenger carrying a pony hair bag like that? That wasn't it." But it actually it pushed me to recognize that my presentation was speaking for me, and it also pushed me a bit into design because then I wanted to create clothes that I really felt comfortable running around as a stylist. It can be super glamorous, but in the beginning, like some of my worst memories in life are plastic garment bags across my arm on 95-degree days. Like that still haunts me. So
Wow.
So it's not always so glamorous when you're doing pickups and returns and there's not a budget for a messenger service, and that's how it is in the beginning. So I, as after years of styling, when I did start to design, I wanted to create clothes that could kind of play in all those worlds. That I could come from 125th Street on the train, I'm cool there. 7th Avenue, I'm cool there. Whether I'm in the ground floor with the doorman or on the penthouse with the PR, like I was able to go through all those places and feel comfortable and know that I was dressed the part. And so that actually fueled me a little bit after a while, being mistaken for being a messenger. And of course, that's 25 years ago. So I was young enough to be a messenger. But I think that definitely was where perseverance was necessary, because I generally, for me, when people say things that I don't feel apply to me, then I don't hear it. Like, I got my blinders on. You're not talking to me. So it didn't affect me to the point where I decided to address it. And then I realized, well, what can I do to change this picture? And, that's what I did.
Amazing. All right. Well, it is 7:54. I've skipped several questions, and that's okay, because I've enjoyed each of you sharing your stories, and I think that's very important. Um, what I do want to say is, as thank you again for being members of the Stylist Network. Just working with each of you to select the individual has been an incredible experience. Just gleaning from each of you, and oftentimes you will have people who will say, "Oh, well, I'll do something just to say I'm giving back to the community," but that wasn't what this was about for each of you. It has really been about empowering somebody and making sure we got the right person and making sure that they succeed. So you all are amazing. I wish I could give you a hug, so I'm sending you a virtual hug. This has been great. This is to be continued because this conversation needs to go on and on and on, but I can't. So with that said, what I'm going to do now is I am going to make the announcement, and then I would like to ask each of you, once the person comes forward, to just share some words to power that person up. Um, so I want to let everybody know that Lewis is back. Sorry with the timing. Hey, duty calls. He's big. He's working. He's making this happen. But he had a client, so thank you. But this program is truly a diverse program. It is set up for students and career changers, which isn't something that you hear. For individuals aged 18 to 44 who have a financial need and have proven their resilience in face of adversity and their willingness to make positive contributions to the community. So I want to say that I have to acknowledge the first runner up. I think she's looking. The first runner up for this award is Trisha Williams out of Philadelphia. So Trisha, we want to acknowledge you. And yes, darling, I see you backstage. I'm going to go ahead and bring you on screen. Our next fashion stylist is Jada Wakikwia. Am I saying it right?
Yes.
So congratulations, girl. Look at you in that pink.
Thank you.
She is our selection for the next fashion stylist. So
Yes,
we are so
Thank you.
excited for
I'm
you.
beyond grateful. Thank you. Thank
Why
you
was this
all.
important for you? What?
It's important for me, just for the simple fact this has honestly been my dream since I was a little girl. Watching my mom get ready and coordinate her looks for her corporate office job. She used to work for AT&T, and she would have the nice pleated pant and the nice blouse with the blazer, and just everything would be so immaculate and well put together. I'm like, I want to do that. Like, mommy, let me dress you one morning, And yeah, I got to an age where I was allowed to dress myself, come middle school. And I always got the best reviews and all, everyone would kind of gravitate towards me. So I took that and I ran with it and I did everything I could from there on out. I got to high school. I started styling my friends for prom. And yeah, right after I got out of high school, people would reach out to me on Instagram and, we're putting together this photo shoot. Would you like to be the stylist? I've got the makeup and everything covered. Just come through and add your, stylist touch on it. So I think this is very important for me and for my peers to see, because I talk to, all my friends and everything on Instagram and at work, and we're all in the same boat, still trying to figure out how to, maneuver and make it in this industry, whether it be, any part of styling, whether it be commercial or editorial or personal or celebrity. We're all looking to interact and be involved. So I think it's important that I can go back and, be the open door for them as well.
Amazing. So Sadia, I want to formally, you the only person I think, gets to meet the instructor before the class starts. So Sadia, what words of powering up do you offer Jada?
Well, make sure you see me. Make
Yes.
sure you let me know who you are. I'm really good with faces, not with names. So make sure you come up to me on
Absolutely,
the
I
first day.
will.
And just welcome and get ready to enjoy the ride.
Thank you. I'm ready.
Franklin, power Jada up. What words do you offer her?
Well, my mother used to say this: never take constructive criticism from someone who's never constructed anything at all. And always be professional no matter what. Whether you're doing it for money, you're doing it for free, which I don't recommend you do anything for free. But always be a professional no matter what. Always have a professional relationship with the clients, particularly the showrooms that you go pull from. Always make sure the way you got the product, you return it the same way, and keep your head above water.
Thank you.
Louis.
Hey, I'm quit my mic right now.
Okay, we here.
Look, I was
Louis.
just about to chime in. This winter came up to Myrtle. It's Franklin Myrtle said, I want to be like you. They both arrive in pink tonight. Come on, stylist. Come on. You did it, girl. So congratulations.
Thank
It was
you.
really actually no brainer. Like, you came with your feet placed on the ground. You came to do what you said you wanted to do, and that was to win this award. So congratulations. We are all rooting for you. You already work for my hometown, Nordstrom. So
right,
I
okay.
did the stylist department there, and I just told
I'm in the
Justin
backstop now.
yes, and I actually just told the head stylist Justin about you. So we'll talk more about that, but he's going to be eager to meet you as well. So
awesome.
Very good. Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Carlton?
I mean, I don't know what else I can say. It's true. Like, you came in already confident and already with an amazing presentation and all of the elements that we would want to see and be happy to award this to. So congratulations, first of all. I would say if you're already at that level, things like Franklin is telling you as far as returning merchandise where you got it, is a key for sure, because people are going to remember those things. But I think you have the ability to go beyond expectations. You'll be the one to send that handwritten thank you note to the showroom that you want to go back into 2 weeks from now, and be really strategic and smart and make yourself position yourself where people can't do without you. And I think that you're going to go very far. We're all here for you. If you need support and more questions and stuff, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm really trying not to cry, but man, this has been a journey. You fight so hard for something, and it literally and all thanks to God. Like, I truly, connected. He and I are like this, so I literally cannot do anything without him. He's brought all of you into my life, and I'm just beyond grateful. Like, you don't even understand. I'm so thankful.
Brilliant.
Jada, I am excited for you. I actually want to ask you to stand up, but I ain't gonna do that to you.
We want to see us stand up. There you go.
Good. Yes.
We want
We want the full effect.
Yeah, girl, that is cute. You need to let me know where you got that outfit
I
from.
sure
That's a
will.
whole
I'll send you the
story.
link.
I might have to put on a pair of Spanx to wear it, but it's cute. But no, honestly, I did that too to try to keep you from crying because I almost want to cry too. I am so excited for you.
Nice.
Look, I think you and I have a meeting first thing in the morning anyway. And
Absolutely.
I want to say to you and everybody else listening to, one of the things that is important to me is that anybody who's listening who didn't win tonight, I want to have a session with you and let's talk about the pros and the cons of everything from the beginning of the to the end so we can get you to apply again next year. One of the greatest things that ever happened to me in corporate America was I didn't get the job, but I went back to the manager, the hiring manager, and I said, what could I have done better? And she told me, and from there I was able to create a development plan that I use with other people to this day and myself. And the next time I applied, I got the management role. And now here I am later, have started my own nonprofit. So I believe in building people.
Amen. Absolutely.
So for the fact that I sent out the message before it was ever announced that you won, saying, set up an appointment with me so we can talk about it. And you were one of the first ones to set up the appointment. That says a lot.
Nice.
So thank you. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I am going to wrap up. I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. Let me see what's in the chat. There's lots of congratulations for you in the chat. So everybody, oh, you know what? One thing I forgot to do, I got caught up. I have to, Jada is the winner, so I have to share the report.
Thank you.
Better late than never.
Love you all.
With
Thank
all of that
you.
said, I am going to sign off. I want to thank everybody for being a part of this and have a good night.
You all as well.